Welcome back and thank you very much. This is TV3Newday and we're straight into the big issues segment. But first, take a look at the headlines. The Finder newspaper says World Bank cuts growth forecast to 3.2%, citing Russia-Ukraine war, COVID-19 surge in China. Also, National Road Safety Authority to publish compliance audit report on transport operators. Kodia Chiahene stop GRA from collecting e-levy. 3 NDC MPs pray Supreme Court. It has been granted. Over 7,181 ex-convicts returned to prison in 5 years. Over 1,000 cases recorded each year. And ADB donates food items to the chief imam and others. The Daily Guide says minority files injunction against e-levy. Russia replies Ghana on a great claims. Drop Mahama report rattles the NDC. Ghana's economy will recover according to the EIU. The BNFT, interoperability to drive cross-border payment settlements. Also, CBI Ghana to build world's largest calcined clay cement plant. 3.2 billion Ghana cedis losses weigh heavily on the Electricity Company of Ghana. Going to IMF will benefit the economy, according to the EIU. And Ghana Car Rentals Association targets Kumasi as its new hub. The Ghanaian Times. Landlords, tenants face prosecution for failing to claim their frontage. Foodstuff prices escalate on market. Tricky AFCON 2023 draw for Black Stars. Costa Rica VIP UNFPA head arrive in Ghana for Diaspora Forum. The Daily Graphic is the final one for this morning. Agbobloshi redevelopment scheme ready. Henry Quarte is the regional minister for the Greater Accra region. Publishers conniving to print textbooks offshore. Printers Association cry out. Economic challenges could affect the NPP's chances. EIU, CBI Ghana building world's largest calcined clay cement plant. Also the back page. Rainstorm renders 100 homeless at Kubri. Create space for prisoners to exercise conjugal rights. The NGO is telling the Ghana Prison Service and, of course, the AG, I'm sure. My guest this morning, Eric Edem Agbana. He is a deputy national youth organizer of the NDC. Dennis Miracles Abuaji is a former MCE for Ekrapim North. Is also an advisor to the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. And James Kwabena Bomfe is the managing editor of the National Forum. They are my guests this morning. Quick. Let me say congratulations to the brand new Chaplain General of the Ghana Prison Service. The brand new Chaplain General of the Ghana Prison Service. The induction service will be done this morning. The Reverend Canon ADP Selwyn Adama Okai. Congratulations to you, sir, and we pray that the good Lord will guide you through and through. And also, thank you to Grant Park Clothing at Dansoman for my outfit. Call him 020-985-5696. Again, 020-985-5696. Happy birthday to Mrs. Ryle Dusey Kwaboidu. This is from Mr. and Mrs. Okutu. Also to you, a happy Golden Jubilee. Colonel Roland Bessa Kwao Adote, Director of Supplies and Transport of the Ghana Armed Forces. This is from the S&T officers of the Ghana Armed Forces and also from Major GG1. Happy birthday to you. Also to Mrs. Josephine Ama Awuye, it's your birthday today. Yawa and the siblings wish you a happy birthday. To you, Comfort Ekufu, CEO of Donak Special Foods. This is from Mary Efumwa Kufu, your mother, Comfort Ekufu. Happy birthday to you. To Ellie, trombonist as well, happy birthday to you. Gentlemen, welcome. Good morning. How are you doing? James.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good to see you.
Always glad to be in your presence.
Right. Dennis.
If the boss man himself is glad to be here, how much do you have to say? Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to Adam. We're discussing a very important topic. We'll bring it up later.
I know.
Another time.
I know. I won't go there.
Yeah, we'll bring it up.
I've been there already. So.
Oh, you've been there?
Yes, I won't go there.
But I think we should bring it up again in the future.
Johnny.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's
But Johnny, I need to commend you first. You are one of the few journalists who had the guts to comment on the Sawabroni issue and how the national security is being abused under the chairmanship of President Williams Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I think that I must commend you because unlike you, with your courage, many others are scared to comment on the issue. We are not asking journalists to discuss the private bedroom matters of the president.
That is not my concern.
That is not my concern either. We are not asking journalists to discuss whether or not the president overperforms or underperforms in the bedroom. That is not our concern. That will not put food on the table for the ordinary Ghanaian. But we are discussing the most important aspect, which borders on our national security. And so when you see that throughout the media, many people are pretending as if these issues are not important to be discussed, it calls for concern. And I am worried that since 2017, the national security structure has been used as a tool to engage in all sorts of criminal activities. We saw what they did in Ayawa So West. The last time I was on your show, I mentioned what they did at the recently held Nooks elections. And today, we have a lady who has consistently, for close to 2 years, alleged that they used the national security to stage an armed robbery on her in a hotel. National security has been loudly silent about this issue. Nobody seems to be concerned. The individuals, the names that she mentioned, none of them is responding. And we know that at the time the incident took place, as she reports, those people were officials of the national security. And we are all pretending that everything is fine.
Okay.
What sort of joke is this? What country are we living in?
Well, so I may hold a slightly different view. People will always take advantage of institutions and do things that have not been sent to do.
But so that is why we have leadership. So we have a national security minister. All national security, they have directors. That is why we expect them to come out and apply sanctions. Johnny, if you take advantage of TV3 to do anything unlawful, TV3 management should be able to sanction you if they do not endorse the action. And so the mere fact that national security is loudly silent on this matter tells me that they are complicit. And so it's not just about people taking advantage of institutions. The Sewa Bruni scandal is one that has embarrassed the presidency, and we must have the national security respond to the allegations that the lady made.
I hear you. Dennis, you want to take a bite on it?
No.
Or should I let it slide?
No, I'm looking at the
EIU.
economic outlook.
Right.
Yes.
You are not concerned about the national security.
I'm not concerned about the NDC and their media, their own personal media sitting on Facebook, bringing a random person to come and rant, having names, having evidence. There are courts. We run a democratic institution with the courts available. A lot of people have been in the courts to seek redress on several issues. You have names you claim, you have evidence you claim, and for how many years or months you are sitting on Facebook. Let's talk over here.
Okay, James, you want to take a bite?
Well,
You are not responding to him.
I get worried when we take this attitude and posture on very germane national issues. And I don't know, but the slants that my brother Adam gave, a bit of historical recount will tell you that this so-called Sewa Bruni is not a new phenomenon.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying the national
Please, I kept quiet.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you were
It's not a new phenomenon. I'm not misquoting you. I've not quoted you to misquote you. You mentioned Sewa Bruni, didn't you? I'm saying that phenomenon.
It's not new.
It's not new.
Okay.
Issues and infractions by persons in the name of national security. It's not new, or they are not new. And I was listening to your take, your bite. We need, as a country, especially political actors, and you are coming from a party with, history, castle, haircuts in the name of national security, and Mr. Rawlings. Adam, you may want to know that, okay? President Kufuor's time, why I say Sewa Bruni is not a new phenomenon. Remember, there was a running story from 2005 about Giselle Yazi.
That's right.
And some twins.
There's some twins, yeah.
Your party took it. President Kufuor left office in 2009, January 7. As we speak, Giselle Yazi issue died a natural. My good friend and big brother, Alhaji Bature, was one of the people who held on to that story. What became of it eventually when President Kufuor, who had been accused of incumbency, of using national security to keep Giselle Yazi Abe, even accusing him of using his international relations and networks and so on and so forth. When he left office, under President Mills, under President Mahama, today, what became of Giselle Yazi? You see, it is very dangerous when you want to profit in public service of running down your opponent so you can take, you want to take advantage of that. Forgetting that that same yardstick rests to be used at you. Even President Mahama, did we not get women claim stories with him? Former President Mahama.
Even in opposition, they are still claiming.
You see, let's be very careful. The fact that I believe in one principle, and let them take it from me, that leave no shot unanswered. Sometimes silence may be an answer to a shot. But I am not too happy that this lady has been running her story and there seem to be no there's no official response. I'm worried about it. It is incumbent on government. And Michael, you are coming from government circles. Dennis, sorry. You guys must find an appropriate response to it. It is not decent. Okay. At least a denial that what she is saying is untrue in a sentence or two.
But a denial is in the history of... He has given me
the
denial is in the history.
He said he has not given
just
you
30 seconds. The denial...
I thought you didn't want to take
but I thought you said you didn't want to speak about it.
On my account.
Okay.
The denial is in the history of the people who are actually promoting this. And you've summed it up. You've summed it up because you see, we can't continuously have the same movie, the same movie being played over and over again.
But I think that.
Hold on. Are you suggesting that Sawab Broni is being sponsored by the NDC?
But it's obvious, isn't it obvious? I mean, haven't they done it severally? They've done it before.
But I think that.
That's why we don't want to say.
But hold on for me. I beg you. Allow me.
Haven't you seen pictures where
Kabila is still on the floor.
Haven't you seen pictures where they have photoshopped? Where she was sitting in a certain room somewhere, and then they went to pick another picture from somewhere and put it together. It was released by them.
So the picture, for example, hold on, please. The picture, for example, about with Sawab Broni in the plane with the president.
It's all falsehood. There's no such picture. It's a Photoshop picture. Let's move on. All of it. Let's move on. We have no response for you. You've done it before.
This is your talking trade.
We have no time to.
Okay. Because I have a response for what you said.
Oh, why?
This is just by the by.
This is just an introduction, but I have a response.
Johnny,
it's important.
But this matter also raises a fundamental issue about persons who are called into public office.
Yes.
You have to be careful who you associate with. Two, you have to be careful how you allow people into your private space. Three, very important. We need to separate our personal private dealings from our public responsibilities. And you see, so-called associates. Johnny is my aide. Johnny is my special assistant. Let's be careful who we pick on. And this one, I'm saying broadly to office holders, public office holders in general. And I'm sure that those who have ears to listen would appreciate the point I'm making, that sometimes you have matters getting exaggerated. But if it had not been given a spark,
if you had not engaged those people,
would the exaggeration okay?
I get it.
Thank you.
Adam, take a minute on this.
Yes,
so we move away. We have to discuss.
I agree with Kabila when he said this, there's a history. This is not the first time. But like I said in my introduction, this Sewa Bruni scandal is entirely different from the examples that he was trying to give. In this matter, Dennis is creating the impression that the NDC is sponsoring the woman. So we sponsored her to be on board the flight with the president. We sponsored the pictures, the videos, the text messages. And this is a woman who even, in order to save the sinking image of President Akufo-Addo, decided to keep these issues until after the 2020 elections.
That is what she has said.
That is what, and I am saying that if you are saying that what the woman has put out with pictorial evidence, with videos, with text messages, and mention names, is falsehood, then I challenge you to tell John Boydu and all the other names that she has mentioned to take her on.
You have no time. You are wasting.
Well, okay. All we are saying is that the president has engaged in the most embarrassing scandal that has ever engulfed the presidency of this country.
Would you rather not
the national security?
Would you rather not hear the side?
For how long? How long should we wait for a response, Johnny? How long should we wait for a response? How long? How long?
I hear you.
National security is being indicted. Okay. How long should we wait for a response?
I hear you.
These same
please.
Well,
the same
your thoughts and comments as always welcome on our Twitter handle. Hashtag is TV3Newday. Let's get interactive and get into that conversation. Okay, so let's begin this. And I'll start this with you. The EIU says, well, you have a chance to win the 2024 elections, but H.E. John Dramani Mahama is not the man to push forward. They have spoken about other indicators, but this is the most central, that yes, you would win the elections if you take advantage of all of what's happening, but don't bring back John Mahama. Do you buy that idea?
Johnny, let me begin by saying that the NDC as a political party, we appreciate the role of research in mobilizing towards elections. And that is why as a political party, we have a research directorate. And as we speak, in all 275 constituencies, and in all 16 regional offices of the NDC, we have a research unit with directors of research appointed. We, in addition to that official structure, engage private research organizations and institutions to conduct research, to inform policy, to inform strategy, and to even inform our position on some key national issues. It is as a result of that is why, prior to the 2020 elections, we came out with a manifesto that was widely accepted as the best manifesto ever drafted by any political party. So research is something that the NDC as a political party keenly appreciates, and we welcome any organization or individuals who would want to conduct any research into the elections, whether previously held elections or future elections. However, when you look at the EIU's report that we are discussing, Johnny, let me state on authority that one, it never said anywhere in the 26-page report on Ghana that the NDC will win the elections only when we change our flag bearer. It never said. If you look at the political and that paragraph, right, they only said
election watch.
That the elections watch that they expect. Now, for any student of research, when they say we expect or you expect the NDC to introduce a fresh candidate or a fresh face into the elections, it is not backed by any data or any research or survey that is conducted. Johnny, in research related to politics or elections,
right,
there are three key materials
namely
that are considered. The first one is election polls. So, for example, TV3 ran a poll and asked the people of Ghana that, would you vote for the NDC if the flag bearer remains John Dramani Mahama? And so that is the list on the ladder. Then you go to election survey, which is a bit more scientific, where you employ some more scientific method in conducting a survey into an elections. Then the third and the most valid is election results or outcomes. As we speak today, the most authoritative, the most incontrovertible data available to us as the people of Ghana on the rating of President John Dramani Mahama is the 2020 election results in comparison with the 2016 election results. And when you look at that, President Akufo-Addo made a loss of 2.4% from the 2016 elections to the 2020 elections, which means that his rating dropped. It's plummeted by 2.4%, and that is what the data says. But President John Dramani Mahama made a gain of 2.7%, which means that from 2016 to the 2020 election results, President Mahama had his rating up by 2.7%. And so, if any researcher or social scientist, based on that report, wants to make a projection into the next election, the most obvious, the most scientific, which can be tested and backed by data, is to project that President John Dramani Mahama rather is the best candidate to lead the NDC to victory. Now,
so this is what they said. They said the next parliamentary and presidential elections are due in 2024. Under constitutionally mandated term limits, the incumbent president, Mr. Nana Akufo-Addo, cannot run for a third term. The former president, John Mahama, is reportedly considering running again. But we expect the opposition NDC to try to revitalize its prospects with a fresh candidate. Our baseline forecast is that ongoing public dissatisfaction with the slow pace of improvements in governance, such as infrastructure development, job creation, and easing of corruption, will trigger anti-incumbency factors and push the electorate to seek a further change. The NDC therefore stands a reasonable chance of winning the 2024 elections. You seem to agree with everything.
No, Johnny, Johnny, allow me now. So Johnny,
the revitalization
Johnny. So with what you have read,
right?
Let you, Dennis or Kabila, point to where the EIU predicted that the NDC will win the elections only when we change a candidate.
It says,
look at the line. We expect
the opposition,
and I'm saying
to try to revitalize.
We expect, and that is not based on
candidate.
Yes, and I'm telling you that is not based on any research. That is not based on any survey.
But I'm saying you agree with everything
no,
you have said.
No, I have not said. I have not said I agree with everything that. I have not said. I have not said that. I have not said that. But I'm only telling you that there are three key things that you consider when you want to analyze the rating of a candidate. I told you about election polls,
right,
which they did not conduct. I told you about election survey, which the EIU has not conducted. And the only available one, which is the most valid in any proper analysis, is the elections outcome.
Right.
And we have the 2020 elections outcome relative to the 2016 elections outcome to compare. And I have told you that if that outcome is anything to go by, rather, President John Dramani Mahama's popularity or rating is on the ascendancy, because we made a gain of 2.7%.
So in effect, you're saying the EIU got it wrong?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you see, we are not even discussing a survey or research. There is no data. They are only making a forecast, and they are saying that they expect.
But they use a certain
Johnny,
base.
No, what is the baseline? You see, the baseline that they have cited that they are using, they are talking about infrastructure development, job creation, and all of that. But Johnny,
corruption as well.
Johnny, corruption and all of that. Johnny, that points to the most critical aspects of the report, the 26-page report. At the beginning of the report, they started by giving us a picture of Ghana's sovereign risk assessment. And we are rated CCC. You know what that means?
Tell me.
It means that our economy, it's so bad. Our economy, it's so terrible that no investor will be willing, no country will be willing to even give us a loan, because your sovereign risk assessment, which talks about your ability to pay back your loans and all of those things, you are rated CCC, highly speculative, and nobody would invest in an economy with this kind of rating. And so that speaks to the issues that will affect bread and butter. And I have here the rating summary from March 2019 to February 2021, the recent report that we are discussing. As of March 2019, we were rated B with points, with a scorecard of 53. But today, we are rated CCC with a scorecard of 65, a decline from 53 to 65, CCC, from B to CCC. What it tells you is that the economy is on a trajectory going towards destruction. We are on the verge of collapse.
But
we are in
the president has
ICU.
said that we are bouncing back.
So you trust the president's
Why
word?
cannot I?
Now,
why can't I
now,
trust my president?
Now when you look at the analysis, with regards to the elections watch, it is just a mere projection, not based on any objective variables. So you can see they didn't provide all of that. But when you are rating sovereign risk, you provide figures. They have access to the data even from the IMF and all of that. And so this statistical service and all that. And so this one is based on an objective analysis. And so
they use all of that to conclude.
No.
So you agree. Adam, hold on. So you agree that you win the 2024 elections. You have said that.
You see, I don't need the EIU to tell me that John Mahama and the NDC will win the 2024 elections.
I'm trying to extrapolate the themes within the whole context.
Johnny.
Now, you agree with them that you will win the 2024 elections.
My point is that you
have not answered my question.
Johnny.
I want you to answer my question.
I don't. So the question, my question, the point is must be made.
Right.
That the NDC and the people of Ghana do not need the EIU to tell us,
but you see,
or to confirm that the NDC is winning the 2024 elections.
I want you to answer my question.
Yes.
Now, inherent in this paragraph, it says that you have a reasonable chance of winning the 2024 elections. You agree?
They said a reasonable chance. And which research? And they say, Johnny.
Allow me.
Johnny,
allow me.
You see, I'm not allowing you because
I'm not allowing you because baseline forecast,
Johnny,
of slow pace of improvement in governance. You agree? You agree to that? You agree to that?
The issues of slow pace improvement in governance. No, issues of high unemployment, rising unemployment,
corruption,
issues of corruption, rising public debt,
lack of infrastructure.
These are obvious. You don't need the research to tell you that President Akufo-Addo's government is the most corrupt regime we have ever had.
But that is what they're using as basis.
You don't need the research.
You have a reasonable chance of winning the election.
I will come to the projection.
Your time is almost up.
Yes, I will come to the projection. Now, let me get to election predictions. The EIU, in recent times, have had many of their forecasts wrong. In 2019, 2 weeks to elections in Nigeria, the EIU predicted victory for Atiku Abubakar. 2 weeks to elections, which was even closer to the time of the elections. Did Atiku win that election? No. In 2016, in the United States of America, the EIU predicted victory for Hillary Clinton. Didn't Trump win that election? Trump won. Again, even in Ghana in 2008, the EIU predicted victory for President, then candidate Akufo-Addo, but John Evans Atta-Mills won per the projections. I have those things there.
But then in 2016, when they projected,
Johnny, the fact that you get one projection. So what are you saying? The point is that
yes,
the EIU predictions are not cast in stone. It's not as if
but I'm saying that at the base of it, you agree that you're going to win the 2024
and I'm telling you, I am not basing my belief that the NDC is winning the elections on EIU projections because I don't need the EIU.
But they are giving you pointers. Which you agree, which you agree has here before.
Johnny, on your program, this is not the first time I'm on New Day.
Right.
How many times haven't we, as NDC communicators, spoken to all of these pointers? Why is this today? Is today the first time you and I are discussing issues of corruption in Akufo-Addo's government?
Thank you.
Is today the first time we are discussing rising unemployment?
I hear you.
And all of that? Is today the first time we are made aware that under this government, public debt is rising beyond the ceilings?
I hear you.
And so you don't need the EIU to tell you that John Mahama and the NDC is winning the 2024 elections. But John, one key thing before I conclude.
Your time is up.
There's something important.
I beg you.
There's a question Dennis must answer. There's a question. So the EIU telling us.
But you're not supposed to be asking him because that's my job.
Yes.
So allow me to put my question to him.
Johnny, is the EIU telling us?
Allow me to.
Is the EIU telling us that irrespective of who the MPP will elect as flag bearer, It is only the NDC's flag bearership that matters.
They didn't put what they said was that Nanado cannot contest again because of the constitutional provision.
And so who is contesting?
However, you need to revitalize your party flag bearership. Maybe try another. Yes, they have an expectation of
They have an expectation of us.
Okay, thank you.
They don't decide for us what can do.
The EIU
John Mahama is coming back as president.
Paint a certain gloomy picture about our economic situation, and they use that as basis for many of the conclusions they made. For example, they talked about the fact that in the first quarter of this year, we're going to have a tough time. The CD will keep dropping at some point. So many things they spoke about. I'm sure you've picked your key highlights as well. Is that a fair reflection of where we are as a country from the EI's perspective?
Johnny, I think that I'm hoping that Edem would grant me the peace that I granted him.
So that you can flow.
In the last 15 minutes.
It's not 15.
Oh, I checked.
It's propaganda stuff.
No, it's here. I checked.
No, he started at 28. No, please. He started at 28 and he's ended at 40. It is not 15 minutes.
That's how many minutes?
No, you do the calculations
from you.
Do the calculation.
So Johnny,
don't
first
put
of
it
all,
out
I think that for us, the MPP, we have always believed in fact, figures-driven, data-driven governance, and have not been on the trajectory of discounting research. We have always have a lot of confidence in research work and believe that research only seeks to direct you, guide you, give you feedback on the sentiments of the very people that you sought to lead or you lead, and then it's up to you to basically analyze what it is they are saying vis-a-vis what you are doing, and then you can do an appraisal of your activities and decide where you can improve upon. Research is just meant to make you better. It's not to say that you are terrible and you're a bad person and nothing good can come out of you. Unfortunately for us, we do not have the same posture from the opposition NDC, but that's not my problem. That's their decision. We believe that the EIU in 2003 got their predictions right for the 2004 elections. I have it here. They got their predictions right in the 2008 elections as well. It is here. In the 2008 elections, just to pick one line, the EIU made a very, very important point and indicated that the election was going to be a very close one. The EIU forecast that when the chips are down and the votes are counted, it expects the 2008 votes to be reasonably close. And that is exactly what transpired. You remember in 2008, it remains one of the very few elections that we had to go into a runoff. In fact, the MPP lost the elections barely by 40,000 votes. You remember the famous time? This is the prediction they did in 2008.
Round 3.
In 2012, they made the very same prediction that the NDC was going to win the elections. In 2016, they predicted correctly, that is also here, that the MPP was going to win the elections in the 2016 elections, and they gave their reasons. They cited the very difficult economic situations that we found ourselves in. They cited doomsday, the energy crisis that had engulfed the country at that point. They cited the deep-seated corruption that was engulfed us in this country. That was the very first time in this country that a sitting judge, sitting in his seat at the court, I think it was the appeals court or the high court or so, having ruled in a case, made an emphatic statement. It wasn't MPP in government, it was the NDC in government, it was a judge under the NDC regime, and said that what was going on in this country at that point was
Judges
creating
political.
No, I'm just making a point. You know, these days you hear the comments.
So that people don't.
No, I'm just saying. You know, these days.
So don't feed into it.
No, you know, these days a comment they make. No,
it.
I would feed into it because coming from the NDC, I'll feed on it. So the judge made a very emphatic statement that what was transparent, the level of corruption transparent at that point, was a simple scenario of creation of the system to steal, looting of the whatever bounty that they have, and sharing amongst themselves. That was the sort of description that the judge in this country gave in terms of corruption.
Interesting. Now, the EIU's posture towards that has not changed because they talk about corruption.
I am coming to that. So now they got that prediction in 2016 also right. In 2020, the same EIU got the prediction right. In 2024, the EIU has brought their projection in April 2022. we have 2 clear years to elections. For us in the MPP, everything in this report is important to us. We take every single detail as published in the EIU report very, very seriously.
Is that a clear reflection of where we are now?
We take it seriously. We are sitting down at this point to go through the report, look at the positives that the EIU has indicated, because they indicated a lot of positives as well. It is in there. And then look at the negatives. They raise issues of the cedi depreciation.
Right.
They raise issues of infrastructure expectations by the citizenry. They raise issues of unemployment situation. They raise issues of corruption perception among the citizenry. For us as a government, we are picking this report.
Corruption was not a perception.
We are picking this report.
They put infrastructure.
Corruption is always perception.
Perceived corruption.
Yes,
Perceived
corruption, no matter how you look, until it's proven and adjudicated, is always perception. Yeah, all the time. Okay. So we are picking this report, sitting down, look at it, make sure that every aspect of this report that the EIU has indicated that is positive, will strengthen those places, consolidate it to the benefit of the people of Ghana, and then come to the areas where the EIU are saying that the people are expecting more. For example, if you pick the 2022 budget, you'd realize that almost all the issues that the EIU are saying that it's an expectation of the people of Ghana, that we will look at it, otherwise they will vote us out, they have been captured in the budget. It is our job now as a government to ensure that we deliver as it is that we have planned in this budget to the satisfaction of the people.
And I'm asking you, you're taking this report seriously, but is this a reflection of where we are now?
And then, I have told you that I have answered it.
No, you say you take the report seriously.
I have answered it. I told you that we are picking the report, appraising it, looking at the positives and the negatives, and then we take decisions.
I agree with you, but I'm saying, is this a reflection of where we are?
These are facts and figures. For example, are we not aware? If you look at, let me pick. This is what the EIU report is saying.
I'd rather you answer the question.
No, I'm going to answer. I'm going to answer. It says that the EIU expects Ghana's underlying political stability to endure over the forecast period. That's what the party I'm looking for. Okay, so under inflation, it said we expect the headline inflation rates to remain high, okay, throughout 2022, early 2022, driven by supply side price pressure, including rising global oil and food prices, exacerbated by the logistical bottlenecks related to the Russia-Ukraine war and the high utility and transport costs. So this is the EIU, and there's no lie here. It is the reality. Okay. The reality as we have in this first quarter 2022, and the reality as we have right now in the global economic situation is that the Russian-Ukraine war has caused a lot of inflation in goods and services. And that's exactly what they are saying. But
the report also mentioned that before Russia and Ukraine was on a certain...
Where is it? Where is it? If you can show me. Where is that?
It's not there.
No, it's not here.
So everything is Russia, Ukraine.
Yeah, no, it is what I'm telling you. What is in the what you are saying is not here.
It's Russia, Ukraine.
No, what is it?
No, it's there in the report.
No, rating. You can rate it. You can rate it.
In the ratings.
No, it's not. No.
So this is it.
No.
This is the rating summary. No, I have it here. So
see, Kabila is also showing it.
No, Johnny.
Kabila, rating.
No. You've taken 2 minutes of my time. I am telling you that. No. You are saying that the EIU said, please. You are saying that the EIU said that before the Russia-Ukraine war. I said it's not true. It's not here. It's not in the report.
It's not there.
It's not in the report.
But the ratings are not just before. They are not just in the 2022, right?
So it is
the rate. Adam, hold on. The ratings from 2020, 2021.
It is here.
Can I continue?
Continue, please.
I disagree with you. I said it's
okay.
Not true.
It's okay to disagree.
So let me move on. Now they're coming back to the report. You made me lose my thoughts. But coming back to the report, our position is that the EIU has made very emphatic statements. One of them being that if we don't fix the 3 major things, infrastructure, job creation, and corruption, we may lose the elections. Valid point. After all, if you look at the Ghana's political history, no government has gone beyond 8 years. It is the MPP's resolve that based on the challenges that we met in this country in 2017, and where we've been able to move this country to, and the sort of interventions that we've brought to the people of Ghana, we should be able to have the opportunity to be able to continue beyond 8 years and then move Ghana to the level that we want to get to. Because don't forget, we've been in this same scenario before. In 2008, when President Kufuor came to lead this country and moved Ghana from the gloom and darkness that we were before 2000. Introduced a lot of social intervention policies to the benefit of the people of Ghana. Health sector was fixed. Basic education was sorted by President Kufuor. He introduced this free maternal care to be able to reduce maternal mortality. Introduced school feeding programs. A lot of please let me land there, you come in. A lot of social intervention policies within the period. When we go to 2008, we met a similar scenario. They came up with Gize Iyazi. President Kufuor has some twins somewhere. President Kufuor has seen some women somewhere. President Kufuor is seeing some journalists somewhere. Brought some lists of bank accounts of some ministers under the president. Then the people of Ghana decided that, okay, we are tired with all these things that we are hearing from the NDC. Let's give the power to them and see. Unfortunately for the NDC, what is happening in 2024 is that the people have experienced a scenario where when the country is on a tandem of growth, they come in, push lies, push deception, hand over power to them, and they send us backwards. When they took power in 2008, they messed up the health insurance.
I thought that you just mentioned that you were taking this report seriously and that this reflects your true situation.
No, but
then the indicators in this, what you're reading, your exchange rate, we're in a hard economic place and all of that. That cannot
if
be.
You are listening to me, you see, if you are listening
that
to
cannot
me,
be growth.
If you are listening to me, you realize that
cannot be growth.
If you are listening to me,
that
you realize that
growth.
the point I am making is that we admit the challenges.
But so if you admit the challenges, you cannot say that is growth.
No, and we have the opportunity to fix or the mandate to fix those challenges, or else we get out of power.
And in the meantime,
and I have made the point to you. I have made the point to you.
In the meantime, while you fix it, what your present situation?
But we are, you see,
it's not growth.
No, we are discussing a forecast. The forecast is not happening in 2022, is it?
Okay.
So what are you talking about?
But
they didn't say
is inclusive
please,
of the 5-year
the EIU report didn't say that if we vote in 2024, irrespective of the conditions, MPP is going to lose the election. They said these are the things that the people are looking out for.
Okay.
And these things, we have 2 years to be able to deliver.
Okay.
So
you are looking at a futuristic view, also a forecast.
The report is a forecast.
But presently, are you growing?
You don't. I have admitted. And nobody in this government has run away from it. The president Asona admitted. The vice president at the lecture admitted. In fact, what excites me is that the EIU report is consistent with the position of the vice president and the president with respect to the reasons why we are where we are today.
If you agree now, how do you say that whenever the NDC sees growth, that's when they bring in the narratives Adam is bringing?
But of course, we have school feed, we have free senior high school for the people. I gave you things that we have introduced, the positives, and told you that those positives are there. We need to protect them. We need to consolidate those positives. And the fact that we have these negatives that we are discussing now, and we are saying we need to improve, doesn't mean that we should throw away the positives.
I hear you.
I am saying that we've had a scenario before where, irrespective of the growth, the progress that we've made, as we have made under so many other sectors, as admitted by the reports, then you have the NDC coming in. But finally, on the issue of President John Mahama, I listened to the NDC and I realized only one thing. The only reason why you hear Adam for the first time struggling to be able to make a point on the EIU is simply because the EIU has made a very categorical statement. We have admitted the negative and say we will improve upon it and fix it. The EIU is saying that, listen, you can win power if you revitalize the prospects of winning that power by introducing a new phase. Isn't that report?
Thank you.
Isn't that report?
So it is
it's in the report.
It's
and now they are saying that no, we accept everything that they are saying about the depreciation of the cedi, everything they are saying about exchange rates, everything they are saying about the economy. But when it comes to the point where the EIU report is saying that you need to introduce a new phase to revitalize.
They may have to.
But why? But the forecast itself isn't a me. The whole report isn't a me.
Okay.
Isn't the whole report a me? No, I'm asking. The entire report isn't a me.
Is that categorical?
No, but the report isn't categorical.
You said
No, you said me. So that I'm asking you.
I'm just quoting what is in the report.
Adam is not the moderator.
But I'm quoting what's in the report.
No, but wait.
It was a categorical.
Dennis, I don't answer questions from you.
I
don't answer questions from you.
Stop it.
No. You said it was a categorical statement.
Allow him, please. Dennis, so it's 55. It's 55 now. You started at 41.
No, can I? No,
you actually had more time. Let's bring James now. Thank you.
Can I land?
Thank you very much.
So the entire report accepted all.
Well,
for the records.
So let me hear your thoughts.
EIU.
Do you adopt the report?
I think that it's a material worthy of study, and yesterday I had a copy. What the initial comment I want to make is that if you read the report, you realize that it is periodic. They do it sometimes monthly and sometimes quarterly. Yeah. And there seems to be variation. I don't know which one a lot of people are mailing to, but the latest one is dated April 13.
That's right.
I think there was one in March. And so it's important that we,
dichotomize.
We restrict ourselves to which particular one we are all, speaking to. There are similarities. If you look at the March one and the April one, there are some, minor variations or slight variations in terms of the presentation of the report. I agree with them that this report perhaps is not indicative that they conducted a thorough study or field research to maybe by way of a poll or by way of a market survey to find out the feeling or what Ghanaians think, so that we would interrogate their methodology and see how grounded it is. So we are deprived of that. That notwithstanding, I think it's important we admit certain things, that the items or issues contained in there are very familiar with us. They are very familiar issues with us. And I'm very happy that I think both Adam and Dennis made reference to the 2020 election results.
Yeah.
Johnny, my attitude is that no poll is better than election outcome. And if you look at the election outcome, you would appreciate that 2024, it is possible that if 2024 were today and we're holding elections, some other party other than the party governing could win if you look at the results. Okay? What my brother Dennis said, that I felt that sometimes in our political communication for us going forward, we should be measured in how we put it. So it's to describe the era before 2000 as dark and gloom. There may have been challenges with the Rawlings era, especially moving from the brutal military era where there was no accountability, and through to the almost, a certain regime-dominated parliament in the first term, 1993 to 1997, then January 6th,
right,
when you had minority parties going. Don't forget that even that fully regime parliament, you had two independent candidates there, or parliamentarians. Later on, they were, two critical voices, that of Honorable Achiluwo late, and then my mother Hawa Yakubu, and they gave that era a certain, if you like, checkmate, and we cannot run away from that. What this report seeks to portray is to picture 2024 as if it will be limited to two political parties. I read the report. They do not consider the possibility of any party.
But then if you look at the electoral record from 1990,
please.
1992 up until now.
Johnny, in terms of winning from 93, it's been largely NDC and MPP.
Right.
But any election watcher will be making a mistake if they don't factor in the independent candidates and other political parties and their effect.
But that's what I'm saying, that the record from 1992 up until 2020 doesn't give that indication. In fact, if you lump all of what the minority parties get together, it's not even up to 12%, 15%. So it looks like we're stuck with the duopoly of the NDC and the MPP.
And
that may be what is
that's what I'm saying.
The
that
EIU. Because again, you just said recently, not so long ago, that there is no poll that is more stronger
than election outcome. Yes. And I'm saying that they are making it look as if 2024 is a given that it will be limited to just NDC and PP. That's why I'm saying that that is wrong because a new party may emerge, a new party may emerge, new forces may emerge, new dynamics. But more is the fact that per our history, President Mills was elected the NDC's candidate to be presented in the 2012 elections in January, if you recall. December came, and it was not Professor Mills whose face was on the ballot paper. So these are other factors that perhaps the report didn't consider in its predictions. I feel that, as Dennis, said, and I agree with, it's some time away, and we need to give room for all manner of happenings that possibly could emerge. But I don't think that you can fairly describe the era before 2000, after January 7, 1993, as darkness and gloom, because there had been openness. The Public Accounts Committees had started working. Don't forget, your party then had 66 MPs in Parliament. You had the JH Mensahs and their very strong opposition and activism in Parliament, despite their small number taking on issues. You had the proliferation of the media, and so on and so forth. So, yes, there may have been challenges, but it won't be fair to say that it was.
The Russian government. Dennis mentions. Sorry about that. Dennis mentions Russia, Ukraine as. Dennis and the EIU. Right. Well, the EIU. He made reference to that. The Russian government recently has said that, look, stop blaming all of us because 2 years before Russia and Ukraine,
but for education purposes, again, the create, loot and share thing was specific to the Wyoming case.
Right, it was a Supreme Court.
It was a Supreme Court by Justice Jones Doche, who made that as an arbiter statement. You okay? It was a side issue that the way the Wyoming matter was appeared as people creating to loot and share. It was specific to that. So it was not a description of the entire era. Of course, it was convenient to stretch it. And I remember at that time, all of us, especially in opposition to what was going on, took advantage of that and said it represented the entire atmosphere. Of course, that description may not be different from what people perceive to be happening with respect to corruption. And that's what I was showing you,
the perception
that growing discontent and lack of opportunity for young people is attributable to perception of corruption, which, whether you like it or not, perception of corruption is what has been a major issue with almost every government in this country's history. It affected the CPP of Kwame Nkrumah. It affected the NLC of the military junta, the Buzi administration, the Achampong and his cohorts, the Liman administration, the Rawlings PNDC, Rawlings presidency of 93 to Kufuor administration, Mills, John Mahama, President Akufo-Addo. How we as a people must confront this, for me, is a challenge that we run away from.
But if you look at the campaign that brought the Akufo-Addo and Bawumia-led government,
if I may just finish.
Sorry, they heavily campaigned on corruption. In fact, John Mahama was immersed into corruption.
You seem to be taking the wind out of my sail.
I'm sorry, but I'm asking my question.
But Johnny, I think that this government would admit that the impression that the government created in the minds of people as to the approach to dealing with corruption or perceived corruption has not reflected in the way they've governed. And it is something we need to all come to terms with. Remember, the president even at some point said that he was going to use the Anas principle.
Yeah.
What has become of that? So there are deficits in there. But the caution is that you need to also be careful, Adam, how you take advantage of these mistakes, because it will come back to haunt. And I think that it is all largely because of the wrong approach to fighting corruption. Look, it's endemic, it's pervasive, and it's entrenched because it has its roots cutting across. There are corrupt people in NDC, there are corrupt people in NPP, there are corrupt people everywhere, in churches, in the judiciary and all that. Why don't we isolate individuals and deal with them instead of always lumping entire teams or people?
But somebody must crack the whip.
Yes. Then, Johnny, what I'm saying is that somebody must crack the whip. The person is refusing to crack the whip based on what the person knows. You need to isolate the issues and deal with them instead of lumping people together. Because when you lump people together, what you do is that those who are actually perpetrating wrongs get obscured and run away. And it continues. That's what I'm preaching against.
I hear you.
Then you see, but the conclusion I would make of the report is that I am very happy with the posture
Of Dennis.
Dennis has adopted. But it is a learning curve. It is a warning sign to people who have held political office in this country from at least 1993, January 7th today, that the kind of politics we are doing is not sitting well with the people. Let's change.
Okay, Adam, 30 seconds, and then we'll go.
Yes, 30 seconds. First, let me
Let it be
talk
30.
here briefly about the create, loot, and share comment that he made. You had an appointee of President Akufo-Addo describing Akufo-Addo as the mother serpent of corruption.
Akufo-Addo,
Now, that was his own appointee.
Well, I like
and
to
the
call my
statement,
presidents by
and the
their
statement,
names.
the statement
And the titles.
announcing the appointment of Martin Amidu, the president said he held him in high esteem. And so, a man he held in high esteem describes him as the mother serpent of corruption. Create, loot, and share. Who made that comment? Justice Doche, appointed by President Kufuor to the High Court.
Okay,
And all
that's
that. But in
where I don't
conclusion,
want us to go.
No, but he made it. He
And
was
I
appointed,
told Dennis
promoted by
earlier.
Kufuor, and he's the one that made that statement. Why is he quiet today about the pervasive corruption that we have in this country?
Thank you.
Now to conclude on the report. No, Johnny, on the report, again, we have about 2 years to the 2024 elections. Like my brother Kabila said, many other factors will come to play. For example, at the time the EIU made this report, did we have 20,000 people being exposed to the scandalous Sewa Bruni incident?
Thank you.
No. So you see, there are many
Thank
things that
you.
will come and
Your
inform.
point is made.
So if you
Dennis,
are saying,
take your 30. It took 1 minute. So take your.
enjoy scandals. So.
Take
Scandals don't win elections. So.
Take your.
30
Take your.
seconds is not enough.
No, you took 1 minute. It's okay. Take one.
So basically, it's obvious from all reports, all surveys we have seen in the present and in the past that His Excellency, the former President John Dramani Mahama, is not a viable alternative for the people of Ghana. He started again. For the people of Ghana.
No.
The report is clearly telling us as a government the areas that we need to improve on and the places that we are doing well. We are going to look at the report, see places that we agree with it, where we can improve, where we cannot. But the bottom line is that it is obvious that the forecast clearly indicates that the worst form of MPP is still better than the NDC.
I hear you.
That's what the stats are saying.
Kwabena Bonfe.
We have
Allow him.
It's so difficult.
we have a duty to protect our democracy. It is not enough to be transparent. It is also important that when people have expressed their views, we consolidate them and act.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it is the actions and making sure that our intentions and intendments are actualized on the ground that matters.
Thank you, James Kwabena Bonfe. He is the managing editor of the National Forum. He's here usually every Wednesday. Also, Dennis Miracles Abwaji. He was here on the ticket of the MPP, former MC for Equiapim North and Equiapim South, I beg your pardon, and also Equiapim North, I beg your pardon, and also advisor to the Ministry of Local Governance and Rural Development. And Eric Edem Agbana is Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NDC. Happy birthday to Comfort Ekufu, CEO of Donak Special Foods, Kanda. It's your birthday today. Also to you, Mrs. Josephine Ama Awie, Yawa, and all your offsprings, they wish you happy birthday. To Reverend Canon ADP Selwyn Ni Adama Okai. Today he's been inducted and made the chaplain general of the Ghana Prison Service. We celebrate you. Also, a happy birthday to Colonel Roland Bessa Kwao Adote, Director of Supplies and Transport of the Ghana Armed Forces. Good morning to you. This is from all your men with the Supply and Transport Office of the Ghana Armed Forces, and from Major GG1. Also to you, Mrs. Rahel Edusei Kwao Boydu. This is from Mr. and Mrs. Okutu. A happy birthday to Yvonne Mensa, Marketing Manager of Gihok, and to Jeremiah Quason. Happy birthday to you from, is it from Dennis or from Edem Agbana? It says happy birthday. Matilda Maum here, Haynes, has sent us a message for you. It says happy birthday to May Zell Ifwa Maum of the NHIA. It's your birthday today. Then you quickly put up the Chaplain General's photo, Ghana Prison Service, ADP, Reverend Canon ADP Selwyn Adama Okai. It's your birthday today. You share this special birthday also with Amegbo Odetta and her twin brother. Happy birthday to you. Okay, so let's see the photo. That's him. Yes, Reverend Canon ADP Selwyn Adama Okai. Today he's been made Chaplain General of the Ghana Prison Service. There's also Colonel's photo. And quickly, let's toss Colonel's photo up and let's see. Today we are celebrating our men in uniform. We love them. We celebrate them. Supply and transport, yeah? And it's there as well. We'll see you after the break. There's more here on the day. Good morning to you, Colonel. So 2 stars, 1 crown, 2 stars, 1 crown. Fantastic. With their gadget and everything else. We'll see you after the break.